business. And that's really what got you involved, is when you saw not only business owners lose their home, but their employees lose their home in a time where you couldn't get other jobs. I mean, a little bit example of the Great Depression, but I'll come back to that. But you're doing this because you're seeing the people side of it. So now what you've done in our previous conversations is pointed out that you're taking this from a for-profit venture to a social enterprise venture, the new emerging fourth sector of the economy. And you've worked with Springs Rescue Mission, and they have some tremendous programs, which you're putting a for-profit side to fund a nonprofit venture to improve people's lives. What programs does the Springs Rescue Mission have going on right now, Robin?
I love the Springs Rescue Mission, one, because it's helping the homeless in our community, and their programs just taking folks off the streets and putting them through a 12-month program and then putting them into jobs and into homes. It's amazing. But the other aspect of what Springs Rescue Mission does is they've got a social enterprise arm where they are funding through their nonprofit these combination for-profit businesses that serve a social side. So Made with a Mission Candles, for example, is a social enterprise that comes out of Springs Rescue Mission. She makes candles. They are some of the profits go to the Springs Rescue Mission, but it gives back to the homeless. So the money, and these candles were in like the celebrity bags for the Emmys.
Really?
It's not like they're just being sold here in Colorado Springs. They're nationally known, and they're really amazing candles. And the woman who's doing it, Laura Cameron, is just really, really passionate about giving back, and particularly regarding the homeless. And Springs Rescue Mission does have, as far as I know, has a desire to sponsor other social enterprises as well. Many people don't know that in Colorado Springs we're kind of a hotbed of social enterprise here. And really, social enterprise is a business that is for profit. It has a for-profit side, but it solves a social need. So we've got companies like Blue Star Recyclers, for example, which hires autistic employees to break down electronics. And we've got Mountain Equipment Recyclers, who gives a significant portion of his profits to nonprofits in Colorado Springs. So there's several of those types of businesses, and Colorado does have a B Corporation business entity, which is a benefit corporation, which is for combination nonprofit, solving a social need, for-profit, true revenue stream. It's pretty exciting. And when you look at millennials particularly, they like to do business with businesses that they can connect with, that really solve a need. They really like that connection. And so you're seeing more of those social enterprises across the country. So it's great for everybody, and it's really great for Colorado Springs because we have so many of them.
Oh, yeah.
And are these programs, can they help people who are, I guess, that are very fearful in social situations when they're in a work environment? They have a difficult time socially being around other employees or management or whatever. Is this one of the programs that they're able to where they're able to overcome that fear of those people when they're in those social situations in an employee environment?
I'm not sure that I understand your question.
Well, what I'm asking is, there's sometimes people, when they go into a work-related field, then they have a difficult time once they're in there because they think that everybody's like out to get them, or they get kind of fearful about that. Is this an area where they can help those people get through that social fear that they have of connecting with other employees or management?
It would depend on the type of social enterprise, the type of business that it is, and every business that's a social enterprise is trying to solve a social need. That social need could be a lot of different things. Right. So it could be people that have learning disabilities that have a high rate of unemployment. Like Blue Star Recyclers, they're hiring autistic employees with that segment of the population has a very high rate of unemployment. So social enterprises give back in a lot of ways, but they have a true revenue stream. It's not donations. They're selling something or providing a service, and they're getting paid for it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, put your tray tables up and your seat backs in the upright position. We're landing the program number 4 for this week. I want to thank Robin so much for coming on. But one of the big takeaways we want you to have throughout this is that really it is the subconscious files in your mind. What did people tell you about yourself when you were a kid? What did somebody in an authority position tell you about yourself? And filter that. Is it true or is it not true? Because we want to empower you to take charge of your life, just like Robin did, so that when the opportunity comes up, you'll have the positive belief mindset to accept the opportunity. So just remember this in closing, that no matter if you don't know exactly what to do or you don't feel like doing something, no matter what, keep moving forward.
You need a website. Why not do it yourself? With Wix, you can create your own professional website. Choose from hundreds of templates. Whether you're a small business owner or an artist, we've got something for you. Just drag and drop to create your site exactly the way you want. It's easy. Change your text. Choose one of our backgrounds or upload your own. And easily add one of our beautiful galleries. You can even set up an online store in seconds.
Listening to Success Radio
With just a few
USA.
clicks, you can connect your site to your favorite social media channels and add popular web apps and services like Google Maps, contact forms, and so much more.
And life-changing
Just like
daily
that,
content.
you've got your own
Thank you
stunning
for
website
listening.
that is fully optimized for every device. Create your stunning website today. It's easy and free.
Success Radio USA. Success Radio USA.
Good morning. I'm Kim Wilson, your host for Empowering Eve. Empowering Eve is a show designed by women for women. It's a show to empower, uplift, inspire, and celebrate women with extraordinary stories. Kim Wilson, your host for mission workshops and fashion shows. We'd love for you to find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search for Empowering Eve. I'm so glad to have you with us today. Kim Wilson, your success mission workshop. You can
in a dress that was too small, surrounded by mirrors. And I looked at that reflection and I said, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
This is going to be the worst you're ever going to feel right now. And every time you take a step on that floor, you're going to reclaim you.
Mm-hmm.
And that has been my journey.
Yeah. So you just did you take a class or did you?
It was a class, and I was, of course, in the room with lots of people that were in there for different reasons. And that has, for me, it was trying to do something break. Dancing is very scary when you're introverted because you're on the floor sometimes by yourself. You're in clothes that don't feel familiar. You're showing parts of you you've tried to cover for 20 years. And you come to terms with how out of shape you are too, right? But I got to meet people. I practiced my hello.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in dance too, you have to actually be submissive enough. So for the first 6 months, I danced with my eyes closed so I would not anticipate the next move.
Okay. So when you get on that dance floor and you get to really feel who you are
Exactly.
on that floor.
And I learned that I was a mighty powerful person.
Yeah.
And that I wanted to be someone, whatever that was one day, that I would look in the mirror and really love that person and not weight my worth based on how someone else felt about me.
Right. So how long did you take dance lessons for?
A year, and I still dance. It's not as smooth, and because I'm not practicing, but it is a wonderful trophy in my life that I can say I did that.
Yep.
And I danced in front of hundreds and hundreds of people, and I survived.
Yeah. Did you always want to do that and dance?
No, not at all. That introverted people do not find reasons to get out and make fools of themselves. That's what it looked like at the beginning.
But it's fun. You know, you're taking a leap.
Oh, it was wonderful, and I met great people along the way, and then they show up at the right time of your life, right?
They do. And are you still friends with some of those people?
I am, because we were all finding our brave.
Wow. I love this. I didn't know that's where you really, when all of that stuff was going on in your life, that you turned to the dance floor.
Exactly.
That's exciting to me. So we're going to take a very short break to hear this very important message from our sponsor. We're going to come back and hear more about Michelle Farkas after this very important message. Don't go away. You are listening to Empowering Eve on Success Radio USA, part of the Internet Broadcasting Network. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Did you know the highest level of brand awareness is top of mind awareness? Top of mind brand awareness is when a customer needs to make a purchase within your product category and they think of you first. Top of mind brand awareness is built through repeated exposure and consistent brand delivery. Tying your brand to one of our internet shows or one of our internet radio networks can expose your brand to hundreds of people every day. Think of how top of mind brand awareness can give you a huge advantage in the market when a customer is ready to buy and your brand immediately comes to mind first. It's affordable, consistent longevity that can reach your exact demographic locally or nationally. Call today, 719-243-3172. That's 719-243-3172.
Rena, how is a car like a computer?
I don't know. How?
If you don't do routine maintenance, they get gooped up and fail early. By performing routine maintenance, your system performance will be improved, keep it secure, and find issues while they were small.
Well, Elk Creek Computers will perform routine maintenance on your computers for $99 per system. Call us at 719-576-4122 to schedule an appointment today.
Broadcasting Network is all about listening. Listening and hearing positive programming designed to promote your own success and well-being. With that in mind, we would like you to know that thanks to our sponsors, 33 cents of every dollar earned on the Internet Broadcasting Network gives the gift of sound to a child facing the challenges of hearing loss or deafness. The Internet Broadcasting Network and Success Radio USA is dedicated to making a difference in the world with sound. Thank you for listening.
Success Radio USA.
Thank you and welcome back to Empowering Eve. I'm your host today, Kim Welton. We are here with the very amazing Michelle Farkas to share her story of triumph and the Visionary Women's Alliance. And boy, what an amazing find that was. I found you on Meetup. Mm-hmm. That's how I found you. It's been a while now.
It has.
It has really grown, hasn't it? So I was, during the break, we were talking about how I found Visionary. And that first experience that I had, I was invited into somebody's home, which I thought was pretty amazing, to bond with these other women and just hear their stories. And it was such a comfortable environment. We sat and we drank tea and coffee and just shared stories with one another. And, after leaving corporate America, I was pretty bitter. I was really angry when I left with all of the things that I had to put up with there, and the unfairness and the lack of appreciation and the sexual harassment and you name it, especially being in government service for 22 years and having to endure that. So starting my own personal business, I found myself really looking for the kind of community that you created in the Visionary Women's Alliance. So I'm so grateful to you, and that's how we connected and became very good friends. But as you were putting this group together and as it really evolved, share with us what your vision was and precisely what you saw in your mind in the workshops and in these meetings in women's homes, and how you were really working towards getting those of us who were uncomfortable opening up, getting us to open up.
So women in general wear a lot of hats, and there's a lot of expectations that we perform certain duties, whether they're at work or in our home or as we parent. And so we don't have we get so separated because we focus on our children and our work that we don't even have our own internal community, aside from maybe a church or bowling group. But how intimate can you be when it's just a slotted time, you're in, you're out?
Right.
And so I wanted to bring women together in small groups, in private settings, using a platform where they would be heard, that their story would be important, and that we would remember. And we're not going to remember when we're in a group of 50. It's too much to remember. But a group of 6 or 8, that's when the magic happens. That's when you can trust, too, that you're getting to know these ladies. And then even as you leave the group and you go on, you miss them, or you look forward to spending social time with them. And at Visionary Women's Alliance, we incorporate our networking, our education, and our social events so that you get the whole person view, because it's more than what we know behind a desk.
Right.
It's more than what we can learn and try and build in our skill set, our toolbox of knowledge. But it is our playfulness, our interaction with our families and our community, how we help one another, how we get involved and do more than just work.
And I think there's something to be said. That first group that I went to, I feel the closest to those women.
Oh, yeah.
The first time I walked into a Visionary, and again, it was in somebody's home, and an amazing woman, but all of the ladies there I have such a great relationship with, close, and we connected. There's this built-in trust, as you're becoming vulnerable.
Exactly. That was the word I was going to use, is we tend to trust more when we feel safe. And so we lay down some laws before we start the meetings, and we make sure that we don't transfer what is shared onto Facebook, or we're not going to chit chat with other people, and that we we have rules of engagement. We're not critical. We don't condemn. Right. We're not competitive in that environment even. I've had lots of ladies in the same industry share a room, and they come in apprehensive because they've been part of this where they got to fight for their share. Yeah. But they realize this isn't a fight. This is a journey we take together. Right. And that some of our stories have lots of similarities where we actually say, hey, I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we gain some big respect when we see that the challenges have been met and overcome, and we found other ways to survive as women.
I love your inclusiveness. This is not an exclusive group of just a certain clique, if you will.
It's true.
It is very inclusive and all welcoming. You have direct sales marketers, network marketing, a brilliant structure in today's business. You have traditional business women, you know, those of us who came from corporate, now maybe starting something different, a new venture. You have the traditional entrepreneur like yourself who have built businesses before and have been very successful. You have young, you have old, you have those of us somewhere in between. And when I look at that, it's something that I think it's anybody who is a part of VWA is very proud to say, I am a part of this group of women.
We have something for everyone.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think our youngest member is 14.
Wow.
And she's starting out with babysitting, and then she's learning money and how to manage that in her time. And then we go all the way to the other end of the rainbow where we've got people who've retired and now they're giving back through mentorship and leadership. So we want there to be a community within our community. And so now we can go to the grocery store, the bank, we can go shopping, and we recognize people. We don't feel so alone in this world. Friendship, relationships, that built-in system support, it empowers you to take the next step, whatever that step is to you, whether it's a hard step, an easy step, a business step, a personal step, but you don't feel so alone when you're making that step.
Exactly. There's so much support there.
Exactly.
I see on the Facebook page people asking for advice, not advice, but referrals, if you will. Oh. I have a heater that's gone out. I need somebody to help me with this. I've had an experience at this place. Can somebody share more information? And because of your rules, we're going to go over the 3 C's in a second too. But I really would, it's encouraging to know that nobody is on there to bash anybody, to say anything negative. And I loved what you said about speed dating. A lot of networking groups are about speed networking and speed dating, and this is relationship building first and foremost. That's what gets neglected.
Exactly. And we tell our people as we sit around and share stories that, we may not be your customer today, but we could be your ambassador for your business. We could help build your network. We could help refer you to create a solution to a problem you might be experiencing. Right. So don't look at our members as a dead end because we didn't write a ticket today.
Absolutely.
That's right. And that a referral that comes out as, instead of saying, I know someone, you say, I have a friend who.
Right.
Right?
They remember you.
That's right.
It's that relationship. So talk to us about your rules because they're very important. And as we sit down, I know our lunch and learns. And so Michelle is very clear. We've got some rules. So let me break them down for you.
So we get together and we have these 3 E's. So I tell the ladies, we're here to encourage, empower, and engage. So don't sit there quiet. We need you to interact, right? And then our C's, back to C's, we're not here to be critical of each other. We don't condemn our businesses. So even if you've had an experience with that person's product or service, this is not the arena to bash it.
Yeah.
And then we are not competitive in this environment. We're supportive. And so those have really separated us from a lot of these other networking groups that go in and say, well, because I'm part of this group, you have to do business with me. At VWA, we choose. We choose. Now, we help each other if there's something we're missing in our tool set. If we're not such a great speaker, we don't know how to use the internet, we connect, we find workshops in the community. We'll sponsor a lot ourselves because we are not about excuses to stop. You tell us what it is that's in front of you, and we'll find a solution.
And it's so much more than a networking group. It's a community.
It is.
It is a very large community.
It is. It is. And we want to be, our hope is that we go from Colorado Springs to Denver to Albuquerque to LA, and then create these hubs of people that are tighter, supportive. We really want to catch those that are falling out of the sky. That's really it, is that it's hard. I've hit a crossroads. Where's my support system? And that the women in our community get together and fill that need.
So how do you design your workshops? Or I don't want to say design, but how do you determine which workshop women need at a certain time? Do they have recommendations, or do they say, hey, can we have a
We're
class
listening at all times.
Awesome.
We wait for voices to speak up to say, look, this is where I'm a little short. If we find that to be a common theme, we will put it on. We don't wait months to decide. We usually plan events 3 weeks out because we want the seats to fill. We've rarely had events that didn't fill. We have a very good attendance, and we stay connected. So if I know that something is happening, then I'll call on those that are within that group. So it's almost like a honeycomb and a beehive.
Yeah.
We're all connected in some way, and we're holding on.
Right.
Yep. There's no way I could call on 1,800 women. But in my group, there are women who connect to other women, and that's how we've been able to stay on it feels like a smaller scale setup.
And it feels, again, just it's a warm environment. When you walk into a VWA event, whether it's a lunch, a workshop, or something at the playing field, you feel like, man, you could have had the worst day ever, but you walk into one of these events and you just feel so good.
It's like a family reunion.
It is.
Right? And you come into the door and you're not a stranger.
Right.
Yeah, you're amongst those that value you.
They do, and I love it. So every event I look forward to. We're going to just take a very quick break to hear this important message from our sponsor. Don't go away. You are listening to Empowering Eve on Success Radio USA, part of the Internet Broadcasting Network. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Chuck Bader.
And this is Jerry Evans.
And you're invited to join us on Profiles of Success, where we feature stories of successful businesses and successful individuals.
You can find us on TuneIn Radio, SoundCloud, or Stitcher by searching Success Radio USA. Or go to our website at successradio.us.
Our current program is available every day, 2 p.m. Mountain Time, Monday through Friday. We air new programs on every Monday. These are programs which are designed to guide you along your path of success, to provide you with the information, the inspiration, and the motivation to achieve your goals. Right here on Profiles of Success on Success Radio USA.
Rena, what's wrong?
We have new employees coming next week, and we need Word and Excel and Outlook and PowerPoint and Access. And I don't know if I should purchase 5 Office licenses or an Office 365 subscription.
Well, the licenses would cost $19.95, but a subscription for 5 years to Office 365 will cost $4.95. This is a huge cost savings. Plus, with the subscription, you get free updates and 1 terabyte of OneDrive storage.
Well, you know what? This sounds like the way to go. So let's get Office 365 ordered today.
To start your own subscription of Office 365, call Tom or Rena at Elk Creek Computers and let them walk you through the convenient subscription process and save time and money. Call them now at 719-576-4122. That's 719-576-4122.
This is Kim Welton from Empowering Eve, a show designed for women by women. So listen up, ladies. I'm talking to you. Have you ever felt powerless? How about overlooked? Or worse yet, looked through? Have you ever felt that you lost control of your own life? Have you ever wondered, just when did I lose my moxie? Well, if you answered yes to any of these questions, I am personally inviting you to listen to Empowering Eve. We're going to be talking to and learning from some of the most successful women in business who are right here in our own backyard. Empowering Eve is a show where we can learn together, grow together, and where you can start becoming the strong, confident, empowered woman you've always desired to be. Empowering Eve. Join the journey.
Success Radio USA.
Hi, I'm Kim Welton. Welcome back to Empowering Eve. I'm glad you are with us today. We appreciate you choosing Success Radio USA. You can bookmark the Success Radio USA website by going to successradio.us. And you can find Empowering Eve on TuneIn Radio by downloading the TuneIn Radio app or going to the TuneIn Radio website and searching for Success Radio USA. From there, you will see all the shows available on Success Radio USA. Just look for Empowering Eve. And you can access the live stream or play any of our archive shows on demand. You can also find us on SoundCloud by searching for Empowering Eve. And you can follow us on the Internet Broadcasting Network Facebook page by searching for the IB Network. And finally, please send us an email. Drop us a line at empoweringeve@successradio.us. We are back with an extraordinary community member, Michelle Farkas. She is here talking to us about the Visionary Women's Alliance. Great information that we're learning today. And Michelle, I know as we talked about, you have over 1,800 members in the VWA in 15 months?
In 15 months.
In 15 months. Extraordinary. And as I said, I've found you on Meetup. I have developed some of the most genuine relationships with members of the Visionary Women's Alliance. It's organized beautifully. It's a great environment, lots of fun things for people to do on all ends of the spectrum. And I know that I've met some pretty amazing women with stories that are just amazing. Do you have any testimonials? And of course, we won't share their names, but, examples of women and what they've shared with you on how you and Visionary have changed and impacted their lives.
So I know of one specifically when life changes, right? And this person was going through an empty nest period, going from throwing parties and having teenagers and having a full life to very, very quiet existence. And she joined our group, and then she made friends, and life was good. And then a card showed up, and she said that she was thinking about suicide because she felt so useless, like her purpose had been finished. And so that was the first fuel. I think that was one of the first cards I got. And then for others, they've moved into our community. They don't know where to start. They're not from here. They don't get us. And they, or they've come from a big network and they're not, and starting over feels daunting. And so we have meetings that are effortless because we create the subject matter. We say, we'll go around the room, we'll talk a little bit about, and today, and for instance, we'll say, tell us about the last time you got a ticket, and so it could be confession, it could be a concert ticket. I mean, you just have to really get creative with this subject. And we'll laugh, and that laughter and the tears, and I always have a box of Kleenex out just in case, because some people are lighthearted and others are just really ready to just kind of like let it go and process, And so we create a safety net, a safe environment that they can be themselves. And we don't want to all jump in and be sad. Right. Of course, we're empowering and encouraging. Yes.
And you never know what somebody is going through.
Exactly. Never assume that the smile on their face is the condition of their life.
Absolutely. So that's why I think some of even the way you've set up these groups and workshops, it really does make you comfortable.
It does. We had one of our members is, she's young, she's different, and she didn't feel like she fit into whatever this mold was she thought she had to. And I remember she got up to leave the event, and I could sense that something went wrong. I think maybe the conversation was not her preference. And I ran outside and I told her that I needed her, that she represented something that I was not yet, that she could be different and be bold and stand in it. And I wanted to be that. And today she's a very active member in our group. And so I love that everyone matters.
Absolutely.
Everyone matters.
Everybody brings their own spark.
Exactly.
To this group.
Exactly. You don't have to be exactly like me or exactly like someone else. You can be so unique and different. Just be a spirit giver instead of a life taker.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, I know we've had a lot of women who have had some transitions in life, and they've, life happens, like we just said.
Yes.
We have new marriages, we have new babies, we have divorce, we have job changes, we have, living changes and what have you. And every step of the way, it feels like there's a group to surround those people going through all of those trials.
And that's exactly why we developed the specialty groups. So that wherever you are in your life, you can kind of, even if it's for a season, visit the group, share that piece of what you have, come away with some tools that'll help you refocus. Sometimes we're so focused on the mountain in front of us, we don't even realize there was a way to go around it.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's what we're here for. I know that we have a Crossroads group that is for those big tragic moments. Whether that's a job change, you moved to a new community, your relationships have started and ended, whatever that is, that you can come in, process, feel like, okay, this is my to-do thing I'm going to do this week, and then have a network of people you can call on to say, look, I need someone to be accountable for, because I said I wasn't going to wallow today, or that I was going to try something new. And so that's what we want to be.
Facilitators, are there facilitators for each group that is pre-identified, or?
We have 17 leaders within our group. I know, right? It's so weird to say that out loud. And each facilitator either runs a specific event or she leads a specialty group. And I needed extra set of hands out there because I was very exhausted trying to remember and do and stay ahead. And then I thought, you know what? I have some great ladies that can be themselves and run their groups and know exactly the timing of what is happening within their own groups. And those groups are thriving. Especially when it comes to like the military group, and there's a different kind of community there, different needs, they are very transitional. There's the thought of the term ending, right? And then what do you do about income at that point? So there's that, or maybe a new baby born outside of wherever home state there are, or I don't see my mother as often, or I haven't seen my brother in years. So there's all those kinds of nuances that they face versus a young professionals group where they're having millennial conversations. I was told I'm not a millennial.
I think we missed that bracket. How is that possible?
I know,
of course,
right?
For millennials. But the undertone in every single meeting, and even through the Facebook pages, even through the social media, is positivity. 100% positivity. Yeah. So you lift everybody up.
And to purposely be present. Not just, I haven't talked to you in a year, but you know that I care about you. No. We need to do more. We need to be more actively involved, because it's not being there for someone when things are going good. It's catching them the moment they begin to fall.
Right. Oh, I love that. Be purposeful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's really in business. where you really get those people that will do business for you, because there's that. You weren't just there when things were great, but you stuck with me when things weren't great, and that maybe I couldn't buy from you right now, but you showed me that it wasn't about that.
Yeah, well, that's the key, is so many, because of those relationships that have been developed. I have friends, I have clients, I have now partners in the business. I didn't go in there seeking that. I went in there seeking community.
And I'm a huge ambassador for you, too. Oh yeah.
Michelle's she's always looking out for me. But I went to VW. I was looking for community, and I found it. So many people have tried to do what you have done, and they have failed. But they are drawn to VWA because of you, that spearhead in having those rules. It's always positive, making sure that people are here for the right reasons, no ulterior motives.
That's right.
So that is why I have a very strong love and passion for VWA. But to say it's Michelle is the one, attracting all of these people. How does it feel to hear that?
I need a Michelle camp. I do, because we want to bring this into a lot of other communities. That those are some plans that are in the works, and
good.
Very excited. And I could not do this alone. It isn't Michelle. It is the relationships that connect one another. It's teaching people what to focus on when it comes to relationships. I think in high school we learned the wrong way to be girlfriends. I know my mother said, don't trust them. They'll take your husband. Yeah, right? No, it's not that way at all. No.
We get beaten up. Women get beaten up quite a bit. And I think the biggest culprits sometimes are other women.
Oh, yeah.
And we need to be the best cheerleaders.
Exactly. And we're breaking those walls down, one relationship at a time, one conversation at a time.
And so we have Visionary Women Alliance leader, founder, and CEO Michelle Farkas here, talking to us about the extraordinary group of women that she's pulled together with the help of a team here now. It's all over the country. We are in other countries as well, continents as well. Lots of people out there really seeing what women can do when they come together for the right purpose, with the right intentions, in the right environment. We're going to share more about Michelle Farkas and the VWA after this very important message from our sponsor. Don't go away. You are listening to Empowering Eve on Success Radio USA, part of the Internet Broadcasting Network. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting Network is all about listening and hearing positive programming designed to promote your own success and well-being. With that in mind, we would like you to know that thanks to our sponsors, 33 cents of every dollar earned on the Internet Broadcasting Network gives the gift of sound to a child facing the challenges of hearing loss or deafness. The Internet Broadcasting Network and Success Radio USA is dedicated to making a difference in the world with sound. Thank you for listening.
Hello, I'm Chuck Bader.
And this is Jerry Evans.
And you're invited to join us on Profiles of Success, where we feature stories of successful businesses and successful individuals.
You can find us on TuneIn Radio, SoundCloud, or Stitcher by searching Success Radio USA. Or go to our website at successradio.us.
Our current program is available every day, 2 p.m. Mountain Time, Monday through Friday. We air new programs on every Monday. These are programs which are designed to guide you along your path of success, to provide you with the information, the inspiration, and the motivation to achieve your goals. Right here on Profiles of Success on Success Radio USA.
is Kim Welton from Empowering Eve, a show designed for women by women. So listen up, ladies. I'm talking to you. Have you ever felt powerless? How about overlooked? Or worse yet, looked through? Have you ever felt that you lost control of your own life? Have you ever wondered, just when did I lose my moxie? Well, if you answered yes to any of these questions, I am personally inviting you to listen to Empowering Eve. We're going to be talking to and learning from some of the most successful women in business who are right here in our own backyard. Empowering Eve is a show where we can learn together, grow together, and where you can start becoming the strong, confident, empowered woman you've always desired to be. Empowering Eve. Join the journey.
This is Megan, Cindy, and Sammy, and we are the Success Radio USA Singers. Thank you for listening to Success Radio USA.
Success Radio USA.
I'm Kim Welton here on Empowering Eve. I'm here sharing a remarkable story with Michelle Farkas, founder and CEO of the Visionary Women's Alliance. To drop us a line regarding our show, send us an email at empoweringeve@successradio.us. And don't forget to tune in to TuneIn Radio by downloading the TuneIn Radio app or going to the TuneIn Radio website and searching for Success Radio USA. So, Michelle, we were talking about you being a shy, introverted woman who took a step out on the dance floor to make this transformation. And now you are this incredibly, of course, you've always been beautiful, but confident, vibrant leader in our community. And to see that like a butterfly just coming into her own, now you get to lead other women to do the same. And that is such a remarkable, that's an extraordinary thing to be able to say that you do. Again, we were talking about the underlying message is always of positivity in the VWA. We're there to inspire and uplift women, as you mentioned, of course. And now one of the things I noticed in following the Facebook page and all of the other things that you do is that you really want to stay away from the hot topics that could be distracting. Hot topics, we don't want to talk about those heavy, debated political issues or religious issues or sexual orientation issues. Everybody should feel welcomed here.
Exactly.
Regardless of where they stand on any of those issues.
Exactly. And even as we are gathered together, whether it's a living room or a coffee shop, and we go to share, one of the things I do remind our members is as you share, be careful about your strong opinions, because today's purpose is to build relationships, and you don't know what your words are doing and how they affect the person in front of you. You do not know what their spouse does. You don't know what their brother does, where they came from, what decisions are being made based on your opinion, how it has impacted them.
Right.
So just, it's okay to have beliefs, but that whole no way, I would never be friends with somebody who believed this way, that is really shutting down your opportunities. And so part of the experience for VWA is to just teach how to engage, to make friends, to build your network.
One of the things I learned in the last couple years since my transition from corporate America was to laugh more. I was so intense. I was in such a hostile work environment, and I really brought that home. I did, and I was very easily offended, just insecurity, in who I was, really. And being around women like the VWA and, of course, Empowering Eve and other women who I surround myself with. And it's very intentional. Who I surround myself now is very intentional.
Beautiful.
You become the 500 people who you surround yourself with, right? Yes. So even other women who I surround myself with. And it's very intentional. Who I surround myself now is very intentional.
Beautiful.
You become the 500 people who you surround yourself with, right? Yes. So we can't be offended. So when people say that, they'll send send me a snippy text or they'll do something funny, I just laugh. And when I'm around my visionaries and we're having such a good time, it feels like, man, I'm home. I'm home in an environment where no matter what, I'm just loved.
Exactly.
That's
exactly. And we teach to focus on what is good and what is real and not what is temporary, because, you know, we all have bad moments, right?
Right.
But don't let that be what defines you or that other person, that your opinion of them is because they had a bad moment.
Right.
You know, just take the whole picture and bring it together. And we should not react either.
Right.
Give yourself some time to process it.
A bad moment should not become a bad day.
Exactly.
Don't let it ruin your day.
Exactly. And as you build friends too, remember to communicate. Don't assume.
Right.
You don't because they didn't call you or didn't make eye contact with you in passing or couldn't even remember your name. It doesn't mean you're not as valuable to them.
Right.
It's just you're not wearing their shoes. You're not experiencing what they're going through.
Right.
You know, silent partners in emotion are finances. You know, what are we struggling with here?
Right.
Loss, change, hope, lack of hope, right?
Losing a
even
job.
your spiritual place, right?
Yeah.
And then just when you got it all figured out, then your subliminal brain brings in the stuff from the past and you have to deal with that too, or if you had a bad dream or whatever it is. And so just take it in pieces and just say, I know this person, and 99% of the time they're not this thing, this moment.
Right.
Right.
And it turns into something so beautiful. Let's talk about where you're taking the Visionaries here in 2017.
So we are going to flip a switch, and we're introducing a website that offers online networking, online teaching, and we'll still have our face-to-face events. We do average 20 face-to-face events a month.
Wow.
We service a big population, and we don't want to say, well, you've got all jammed into one event once a month, because a lot of networking groups do that.
Right.
And that's what causes all that screaming and card exchange, because they're trying to make up for time. And so, but we do want to access. Some of our community can't get out of the house, whether they're disabled, they're stay-at-home moms, they don't have transportation, their schedule and our schedule don't meet. Maybe they're working a job and they can't get off until 5, and we've got something amazing at 2. We want to give them access online. We also want to feature podcasts just like this that really celebrate what women go through, and so we can focus on that and let that be part of our building structure also. So we're excited for that. But because of changes like that, we are also going from a open membership to a paid membership. We'll always feature a free level for those that seek a social interaction, because we don't want to keep, like when you have a retiree and they just want to get together and play cards or go out. We never want you have to pay for that moment. But education and networking and finding speakers and educators and renting rooms, that all comes with a cost. So, and I think our basic membership is about $8 a month. So we're not breaking the bank. We're trying to be very fair. And but we want to be able to do things. We want to give back to our community. We did operate in the red for 15 months, and that's not being fiscally responsible. So here we're going to try and find that happy middle.
Good. And I'm very confident that the leaders in the VWA have the same values. That, of course, this is to create a community environment, to give back. You have always said that you've got to give more than you ever take.
Oh, that's right.
So that I'm confident that you have the right leadership in place there. Tell our listeners how they can find you through the Visionary Women's Alliance.
So we were born on Meetup, and so we are still there under Visionary Women's Alliance. But you do have to put in Colorado Springs. We won't populate if you have Denver as your major setting. We are also on Facebook, Visionary Women's Alliance. There we have a community page and a group page, so be sure to look at them both. We are setting up a website. The address is it's between two. I believe it's going to be vwaco.com.
Okay.
And we are hoping we're testing it here in Colorado Springs, and of course we want to go national with that. So one day there will be a VWA CA for California and Wyoming and
different chapters
in Washington. Yeah, we've got actual members that are waiting to chapter. So we're excited they want to take this to their new home, because when you're in a military community, you have people that transition and then they don't want to lose it, so they want to help recreate it.
Absolutely. And then you can say, hey, you got to get involved with the VWA there in Wyoming or California or Ohio. It's brilliant. I love it. And I know that a lot of people, of course, we are all social media focused and savvy, but you can't just go onto the VWA Facebook page and post, can you?
Oh, no. We want that to be a place that encourages, uplifts, empowers. We don't want it to be a marketplace so much. We do allow our members to do a few business posts, but it's conditional on attendance. So because we're about building relationships, we're not going to take just some random buy this today, it's on special kind of ad. We want you to have gone to a couple events to create the relationship. That way, when you go to post, it's not to a strange audience. That you are actually looking for those that you've met, interfaced with, to say, hey, here's my product. Can you help me with this?
Yeah, and is there a minimum every month of events that they have to attend?
Right now, it's 2 face-to-face. We understand people are busy, but that's been the magic number to keep relationships going. It doesn't have to be just networking. We've got card nights and dinner and a movie, and we've got education. I run an education workshop out of my workplace every other Tuesday, which has worked out beautifully. We hit on different topics. We're open to that, whatever that topic might be. We're trying to stay flexible. We never want to be a rigid women's group.
I love the lunch and learns.
Me too.
The lunch and learns, I learned so much just being with those women. They're all like-minded women. They're all people who are focused on the same things that we're focused on, and we always have fun.
And we're all from different industries, and we can get in there and really, our experiences bring a lot to the table. And so the conversation is not one-sided.
Right.
Oh, yeah, we can get it from small business perspective to large business to stay-at-home mom. And so that's the gem, the tool that if you're a direct marketing salesperson, you will get something as you would if you were a brick and mortar business that had employees and had all those other kinds of things that going on. So not every discussion will be for all people, but we hope to impact most.
And it's been great. I love that you give those direct marketers, those, sometimes they're just the stay-at-home mom that's passionate about some product that they want to sell. And they get to sit with established professionals like you or other direct marketers or other women who are just trying to figure things out.
And I'm glad you said that, because we just created a new specialty group. We, Visionary Women's Alliance, is the only women's networking group in the nation to offer specialty groups specific to direct marketing.
I love it.
And so then the ladies can get together. They have a different kind of style, a different kind of setup, and they can talk about some of the challenges, and they can share their opportunities together. And so then that is something that where there's no judgment and they're celebrated, and I love that.
I love it too. Well, Michelle, I am so honored to be a friend of yours, and you are a huge inspiration to so many of us on multiple levels. So thank you for your time today. Please look for the Visionary Women's Alliance on Facebook and through Meetup, of course. You can find Michelle Farkas as well. If you know a woman with an extraordinary story, we'd love for you to nominate her for our show. Go to Empowering Eve at successradio.us. And we want to thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this amazing story with Michelle Farkas. We are happy to have you as part of our community. We look forward to you tuning in next week here on Empowering Eve. Join the journey.
You have been listening to Empowering Eve on Success Radio USA. You can listen to current broadcasts of Empowering Eve every day at 11 a.m., Sunday through Monday. Be sure to set a reminder to catch new shows every Monday at 11 a.m. Thank you for choosing Success Radio USA. Be sure to join us next time on Empowering Eve.